You should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
And what is going on, guys? This is Shady here, bringing back a new video. And before I start this video, I just want to make you guys sure to subscribe and like if you like the video, and write down your opinions down in the comments. But let's get it started, folks. So basically, I'm going to be talking about like the doom of Halo, or basically whatever happened to Halo. Why it's not as popular as it once used to be. So in order to start this story, we have to go back to when Bungie left the Halo series and Microsoft in itself. And it was around 2012, or no, earlier than that, around 2010 when Halo Reach dropped. It was going to be their last Halo, and we all thought like they were just not going to make any more games, but we didn't know Destiny was just around the corner, basically. But when Bungie left, a lot of fans left Halo with Bungie, basically because a lot of fans of Halo were also like Bungie fans. And basically, who wasn't a Bungie fan in during Halo's prime? Because I remember being such a Bungie fanboy too. But when Halo with 343 took over, people just didn't want to accept the Halo that was not developed by the creators. So people just left Halo and stopped playing Halo, and that showed in Halo 4 when Halo 3 peaked at 12 million sales, basically 12 million copies sold, and while Halo 4 peaked at around 10 million sales. And that's a loss of 2 million sales, and that doesn't sound that heavy, but so far in Halo 5, it's only sold around an estimated 1.5 million since launch, according to VGRs, which is not as effective, but Microsoft doesn't want to release the actual sale numbers. But as Bungie left, so did people left to play Destiny, which is a new. It's kind of like a Halo, but it took basically everything that people liked from Halo and added it into its sort of new thing. Even though I personally wasn't much a fan of Destiny, but I do know people that loved Halo and now love Destiny, and also people that weren't really gamers and got into Destiny. Now they're playing Destiny all the time. I haven't really played it since the Taken King DLC came out, but maybe one day I'll give it a try again. The new trilogy now. Basically, ever since Bungie left and ended their Halo saga, Microsoft came and basically made a team just to continue Halo going. And a lot of fans see it this way, as in Microsoft just wants to cash in checks from Halo fans. But 343 has actually put a lot into like making the Halo games, but I feel like they needed to they needed to like redeem themselves in the eyes of the fans to make sure that they weren't just another studio just making Halo for the fun of it. So they made Halo 4 really really deep into the story, and that's one thing that kind of made them fall, so to say, because fans of the old Halo games, if basically anybody that was new could jump into Halo 3, let's say, and kind of get with the story, because the Halos weren't difficult to understand. Like you didn't need to read the books, or you didn't really need to like look up online or anything in order to get the story of what was going on. You can just play the game and understand everything that is going on because they'll explain it to you. But with Halo 4 and Halo 5, you need to look into the books, you need to look online, go to Halo channels to cover that and everything, and you just needed more stuff, which turned people off if they were trying to get into Halo 5 or Halo 4, basically. So this is why, and then fans just started disliking 343 Industries, because at first, the first year of 343 taking control of Halo, they released the anniversary edition of Halo 1, and people liked it, I guess, but it wasn't really their game; it was Bungie's game, so they didn't really pay attention to it. But when Halo 4 dropped, and it had sprint, and it had loadouts, and it had ordnance drops, which is just a reminiscent of Call of Duty kill streaks, and it had kill cams, and even like the first day that it was out, it had final kill cams, but they took it out. And that just reminded everybody of Call of Duty, and it instantly turned off, because Call of Duty was Halo's rival for the longest time. And do you guys remember the term Halo Killer? Because every time a new game like Killzone, every time a new game like, I don't know, the new Call of Duty comes out, Everybody always said something about Ed being the Halo killer. And do you hear that anymore? Nope, because nobody's really trying to kill Halo because it's not as popular as it once used to be. Now you hear the term COD killer. Like, for example, people are saying rip COD now because of Infinite Warfare and the Battlefield 1 whole fiasco thing, and people are calling Battlefield 1 the COD killer. They also called Battlefield 3 the COD killer and Battlefield 4 the COD killer. So now it's everything about Call of Duty. And I already made a video discussing about Infinite Warfare and everything, so I'm not gonna go over it in this video. But basically, Sony's solution to Halo was like Killzone, and but people like Killzone obviously wasn't as popular as Halo. But now I'm just trying to get the point across that there's the Halo killer term just is non-existent anymore, and that's mostly fault to the like basically just the popularity of the Halo game is just diminishing. Um, Also, uh, the negative Halo 5 story. So basically, people didn't like the Halo 5 story, mostly because the advertisements advertised it as something that it was not. Because I remember all the ads before the Halo 5 got released. It was about uh, Master Chief. Maybe he did something wrong with his team, and Agent Locke and his team were supposed to capture him and everything. And it was going to be a whole basically game about them two fighting it out and everything. Maybe one killing each other because they made Master Chief look really bad in the advertisement campaigns, and just even the little podcast they released. I can't remember the name right now, but it was a weekly podcast that they did up until E3, and then they did a season 2 of it. They all had like an interesting story. In my opinion, I feel like those podcasts had more of an interesting story than Halo 5 did. And also, the ending to Halo 5 was a major plot twist that nobody really liked. Except I can't say that because some people actually like me. I kind of liked the ending, but it left a lot of open holes and a lot of. It basically felt like a Halo 6 trailer to me and other people. Also, the unique thing about Halo was that Halo always like created new things that other games like kind of copied off. Like Halo came up with the it didn't come up. I'm not saying it came up with it, but I'm saying it like basically was one of the first to do it, and it was map selection, like in multiplayer. Like if you go on Call of Duty or something, and you load up a game, and it gives you choices if you want to play this map or you want to play this map with this game mode or something. That was Halo. Halo introduced that mechanic, and because yeah, Halo introduced that mechanic. Because if you went into like let's say an MW2 lobby, you didn't get to choose what map. You just kind of like the map appeared and then you played. But with Black Ops 1, 2010, you got the selection to see if you wanted that map or not. And that was mostly due to Halo. And also there was other things that Halo used to always just make, and then other games would get off of Halo. But now that thing isn't there anymore. Now Halo adds like tries to get things from other games to fit in their game. Like let's say like sprint, and now Halo 5 has aiming down sights. Like that was never in Halo, but since it's what's popular, that's they implemented that into Halo 5. Also kill cams and the 4-player squad in the campaign, and there's revives. Like that wasn't like Halo did not create that. It's just getting that off of other games. But I'm not like don't like tear 343 a new asshole just cause it's doing a lot of those things. Like it wasn't their fault that they have to live up to a really big legacy that Bungie left behind. They're just trying to do their best, but you should give them shit about how they treated the Master Chief Collection. But also, like, I'm kind of like attacking them and defending them at the same time because I feel like the Master Chief Broken launch wasn't their fault entirely. I feel like Microsoft, because Microsoft is here to blame too, because Microsoft probably rushed 343 Industries into releasing the whole Master Chief Collection into the 2014 like holiday season in order to sell something, in order to sell some Xboxes, and they probably didn't have enough time to like test the whole game and test the connections and everything, resulting into the whole broken launch. And people like the veterans of Halo that got the Master Chief Collection just returned it and returned their Xbox probably, and probably are never gonna play Halo again, just because the whole Master Chief Collection was kind of like a spit in their face into the veteran players, because that was the opportunity that 343 had to get the veteran players so they can try the Halo 5 beta, and then they could probably like it, and then when the game releases a year later they can get it. But instead what happened was that People thought that people waited mostly around 2 weeks. They waited 2 weeks for them to fix the servers, and patch after patch, nothing happened. So people started returning their games. People made a lot of videos of it. People started hating Halo, and because of that, nobody really got to December, which the Halo 5 beta came out, and people like just didn't get to play it as much, just because people returned their Master Chief Collection by then, or even their Xbox Ones by then. And also, no split screen. Halo was known, like, you can just go to. I have a lot of memories. For example, like me and my friend, my countless friends, just come over to like one of our houses, play some Halo split screen like campaign or multiplayer or something, and just enjoy and have fun. And Halo 5 just doesn't have that anymore. It got taken out, and that's the lost. Like, some people don't have Xbox Ones, and maybe someone wanted to like come over and play Halo like they always did, but they can't anymore, and that's a turnoff for people too. But one thing that Halo is doing right is that 60 frames per second has to be there, and that's been their push since basically Halo 5, since they got announced. Even like the E3 2013, it said 60 frames per second, so it's always been their goal, and that's what I like, because some games, like let's say Naughty Dog, they re-released The Last of Us 60 frames per second, but then with a new game came out, it was back to 30 frames per second, and they want 60 frames per second to be there. They said they didn't want to sell a game that was 30 frames per second to later re-release it at 60 frames per second. So I gotta give hands of applause to 343 Industries. Um, Also, one thing that basically downed Halo's popularity is that the Xbox One isn't the top dog like the 360 used to be back in the seventh generation. Like, let's face it, the PS4 is basically the top dog. Like, if you go on every YouTuber, every big YouTuber, everybody has a PS4, and everybody just plays on the PS4, and that's mostly Microsoft's fault. When they announced the console back in 2013, they emphasized a lot of the things in Connect and a lot of the things in TV, which made people, and the DRM thing, the whole 24 hours thing, and the whole used games thing, the whole thing just kind of went to shit and made the Xbox One basically lose the generation even before it was any of the consoles were released, except the Wii U. But nobody really cares about the Wii U, to be honest. But now, the Xbox head, like the one that basically created the Xbox, he got fired. He left. So now we have a new one. Um, Steven. No, wait. I can't remember the name of the Xbox boss right now. I'm sorry for that. But he turned the Xbox One around. Basically, he got rid of the Kinect. He lowered the prices down. He's making new games. He's a really cool guy, and he's hopefully for the next generation of Xbox, it can be the top dog like the 360 used to be. But yeah, because the Xbox One isn't the top dog, and the things that kept Halo alive back in the seventh generation isn't working for the eighth generation. Especially, one thing that is really, really killing Halo right now is that people are getting tired of futuristic games, because back in the sixth generation when Halo got released, it was all about World War II games, and there was nothing really else out there. And then Halo came out with the futuristic game, and that was new, and people liked new. So then they just started playing Halo, and then even when the 360 came out, a lot of people bought the 360 because they knew they had to finish the fight, as Halo 2 cliffhanger left them to be. And there was still, when the 360 came out, COD 3 came out with it. That was still World War II, and like, it was still kind of a World War II era at the beginning of the 360 cycle. And then COD 4 changed all that. So we all know how COD 4 went. I made a video on it too, talking about it. So now that the 8th gen, like, we have games like Timefall, the new Call of Duties, just everything just seems to be going futuristic, and people are getting tired of that. If you just look at Infinite Warfare's hate and Battlefield 1 praise, and that's said in the past. So that's one thing that's killing Halo right now, is that it's just being pushed into a corner just because it's a futuristic game too. And just Halo doesn't live up to its own legacy anymore, because like I'm said, like all my points have been said. Halo's been just the top. It used to be the top dog with Bungie, and it used to be like Halo 2 and Halo 3 was like the best MLG game you could watch. Now it's just other games like League of Legends, Black Ops, and stuff like that. But also, one thing that Halo 5, like the newest installation basically, has been killing Halo is that micro DLC. Like I know Halo 5 has free DLC and free updates and all that thing, but the micro DLC is a turnoff for people because it makes it pay to win, and it is pay to win. I can say that myself, and I'm a big Halo fan. The Halo 5 micro DLC thing is a pay to win kind of style. Luckily, it's only in Warzone, but still, they implemented it this game, and it made a lot of money, like a lot of money. So I'm pretty sure Microsoft's gonna want it to be in the next Halo game, and in the next, and stuff like that. But luckily, Microsoft, they said there was gonna be 30 more years of Halo. So in that time, they have a lot of time to either improve themselves, like implement new stuff, or just play it to death when it's not even gonna reach 10 years. So basically, remember in the beginning how I said the term Halo killer? Halo ended up being its Halo killer. Halo basically killed itself, and that's pretty sad. But I hope one day to see the series go up again, like Drake, basically. But that's all I want to say today. Make sure to subscribe if you like the video, like it, comment down your opinions. This was Shady, and I'm out. Peace.